Scaling to $100,000 a month with an agency is simple. And in this video, I'm going to make it simple for you too. And the reason I can say that is because in the last 12 months alone, we've taken not one, not two, but three separate companies past $100,000 a month. And we did it all within a 90-day time period. And in addition to that, we've had hundreds of other people use the exact mathematical process that I'm going to break down for you step by step inside of this video to scale to 10, 20, 50, and $100,000 a month on their own, as you can see here. So let's get started. Now, the first thing that I'll say is that you don't need anything that you've been told that you need by gurus online to hit your first $100,000 a month. You don't need to change your routine. You don't need to fix your mindset. You don't need to stop doing this or start doing this. You don't need this shiny object syndrome. You don't need this script. You don't need this offer. You only need to do two simple things. You need to build two simple systems, which I'm going to break down for you in this video. And if you do build these two simple systems, you'll be able to hit whatever income goal that you desire so you can live whatever life you want to desire. So the first thing that we have to do is we have to build an appointment setting system that books at least 100 appointments a month. So what I have done, and you can click below to opt in and get access to this and use it for yourself. So it doesn't matter what acquisition channel that you have. Let's say you're doing cold email, cold DMs, cold calling, or paid ads. You can come into this calculator and you can simply just put in here how many appointments that you need. So let's say you want to book 200 appointments a month through cold calling. Well, we're going to need to do 6,600 dials per month with a 30% pickup KPI, a 60% pitch KPI, a 3% appointment booking percentage, a pitch to appointment booking percentage of 17%, and we will get our 200 appointments. You can change this to 100 appointments, right? And it'll spit out all the exact numbers that you need to do in order to hit that. You can do the same thing for cold email, right? You can come in here, put how many appointments you need. It will tell you how many emails you need to send, how many domains is required, and what your daily sending volume needs to be. Same thing for paid ads, same thing for social DMs. So once you've picked your channel, the way to do this is, first of all, obviously, yes, pick your channel. Then you're just going to calculate your average booking percentage. I've put the averages that I've seen across all different industries and all different niches here for you. You calculate the volume required to hit that appointment target. So you take appointment divided by appointment booking percentage. You get how many volumes that you need to do. Then you just go in, you write the scripts, you create the ads, whatever that case may be. You set up the data tracking, you set up the software to handle the volume, right? So if you find out that you need to do 250 dials a day, you're probably not going to be able to do that when you're calling from your cell phone number. So you're probably going to have to invest a little bit of money into a software like Close or Go High Level to set up a power dialer, because that is where most people go wrong with this. Right? They understand, okay, I need to do this many dials, but then they don't build the systems to be able to effortlessly do that amount of volume, right? And you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems, right? You are only going to make as much money as your systems allow you to. So after you've set these targets, you have to go in and make sure that you are setting up the proper infrastructure, whether you need to hire team members, whether you need to invest in a software to make sure that you hit those appointments. And then as you start to run ads, send your cold emails, or do your cold calls, or whatever the case may be, you also need to be tracking the KPIs, right? Because if I go back to the calculator here, right, and I'm trying to do social media outreach calculator, and I've sent the 67 daily DMs, and I've done the 5 follow-ups, but I'm not booking 3 appointments per day or 100 appointments per month, well, it's probably because my response rate isn't as high as it needs to be, or my meeting book percentage isn't as high as it needs to be. So then we can identify what part is the bottleneck of our appointment setting process, and we can ruthlessly attack that specific part until it has been solved and until it has been met with our KPI. Because if we do the volume and we hit the KPIs, we will set enough appointments to be able to fill our calendars. And as you can see here, by following this process for the last agency that I scaled, we were able to book over 400 appointments a month. Now, obviously, you don't need to have 400 appointments to hit 100K a month, but this just shows the capability when you have the right systems and the right goals and targets in place. Now, once you have built that sales process, once you have built that appointment setting process to be able to book that many appointments, the next thing that we have to do is to start closing that appointment. So the first thing that I recommend that you do is you build a $25,000 or more offer, right? If it is so much harder to make money if we're selling $1,500 a month services. Now, I'm not saying that you sell something for 25K, but you build something that's worth 25K. And how do you build something that's worth 25K? Oh, well, I only know how to run Facebook ads and I'm in the med spa niche. How could I build something that's worth 25K? Well, I'll show you how to do that right now. The first thing that you do, the first thing that we have to understand is that every single business, doesn't matter what industry they're in, what niche they're in, what business model, has to do 4 key things. They have to generate demand, they have to close the demand, they have to fulfill the demand that they have, and they have to manage their team. And they have to do so profitably if they want to make money, right? But the problem is that most of the clients that we go to, right, the reason that they're stuck, the reason that they're even hiring us in the first place is because they don't know how to run a business. They don't know how to generate demand. They don't know how to close demand. They don't know how to fulfill people at scale, and they don't know how to manage a team. Now, on the flip, the people that do know how to close demand, do know how to fulfill demand, do know how to manage the team, they don't need our services because they're already making a bunch of money and they probably have somebody in-house generating demand for them, right? But what happens is we deal with these lower end people, right? They think that leads is the only problem their business has. So we go in there, we get them a bunch of leads. They just want cheaper leads. They want more leads. The leads aren't qualified. The leads aren't, whatever that case may be. And as a result, they end up churning because they blame us because they can't make money when really they're not making money because they haven't solved the 3 other elements of the business. So how do we do this, right? The first thing that we do is we list out every potential solution to solve the problem, right? So let's say for demand generation, well, we could do done for you ads. We could do done with you ads. We could, create a system where they run their own ads. It could be content creation. It could be affiliates. It could be YouTube ads, TikTok ads, any form of advertising. It could be outreach. We could do outreach for them, right? Like, how are all the possible ways that we could solve the demand generation problems for our client? We want to list those all out. Then we want to go through the closing process. Okay. So how could we help our clients close a higher percentage of deals? Well, we could have infrastructures for them. We could have sales scripts for them. We could have pitch decks for them, or we could recruit closers to come and work for them. Or we could one-on-one train their sales team, or we could one-to-many train their sales team and have all of our clients show up to a call where we do sales training. These are all the potential ways that we could solve that problem. And we go through the same thing with fulfillment, right? How can we get our clients to be able to handle the demand, to be able to scale their company profitably, and to be able to handle double the amount of clients or jobs that they're taking on now? Well, we could help them hire more team members. We could help them streamline and make their service delivery more efficient. We could use AI or automation to streamline a lot of things and remove the manual work from it so they can get more done in a day, right? Like, these are all the potential ways that we could solve that fulfillment issue. And the same thing with management, right? How can we help our clients build and train and recruit a team, right? We could do that for them. We could give them a hiring funnel. We could say, hey, here's the applications, here's the job posting, post it on this platform. You're going to get this many applicants. When they show up to the interview, ask them these questions, rate them based on this. Like, these are the plug and play things that we can do for our clients. Now, if you don't know how to do this already, this is the work that you need to do in order to actually build a $25,000 offer, right? You need to identify, okay, what do I need to learn? Spend 20 hours consuming content, whether that be YouTube, buying courses, whatever that case may be, and then spend 20 hours in the trenches. Because if you do that, that takes 1 week, 40 hours of work, 1 week. You will be able to solve that problem for your clients, and you will be able to have that asset to take your agency to the next level for years and years to come. Right? And when we do this, we can justifiably charge 10, 15, 25K, even 5K at the lowest point, because we're solving every single problem that this business has. And we're not just generating leads and trying to compete against the other person who's generating cheaper leads or more leads or better leads or whatever that case may be, and become a holistic solution to actually accelerate the growth and actually provide an A to Z program for our clients that actually has value. And even if the leads suck, even if you aren't that good at generating leads, they're going to get 10x the value just by every other problem that you solved in their business. And you're going to get a ton of referrals. You're going to have happy clients, and you're going to be able to scale your company profitably. And the last thing that I recommend that you do is you add a break-even guarantee. And the reason why you do this is not that, pay me 10 grand. If you don't make money, I'll pay you 4x. Like, none of that. Everybody hears that today and they know it's not true. But if you have a break-even guarantee, you can come to them and be like, hey, best case scenario, we implement everything that we talked about in this sales call today, and you're at 50, 100, 150, whatever the case may be. You're at your dream outcome. You love me, I love you. Worst case scenario, we set you up with a system to predictably generate demand. We set you up with a system to close cold traffic. We set you up with the system to fulfill your clients at scale, and we also help you build and recruit a world-class team. And at the end of it, in 90 days from now, you walk away with it without it having costed you $1, because we have the break-even guarantee. And that is an irresistible offer. That is an offer that you can justifiably sell for 5K, right? At the lowest end. Okay. But let's say for this, example's sake, we are going to sell it for 5K. Well, now the next part is to actually sell it. So the first thing that we need to do before we even take any sales calls, enroll in any sales training, do anything, we need to set up a professional sales environment. And this was one of the conversations that I had with one of the closers that I had at an old agency, right? He was showing up to calls and, he wasn't closing, right? And then we began to review some calls and it became pretty evident what his biggest problem was, right? And what I did is I created a funny little slideshow presentation and it was all fun, like no hard feelings here. And I just said, I put his photo there and I put my photo here and I said, who would you rather give $4,800 to? If we had the same script, the same offer, we asked the same questions, we had the same tonality, who would you trust more? And the answer was obviously me on the right here, just because I had a professional sales environment. I'm not necessarily wearing super professional clothes. I'm not, necessarily wearing a Rolex or anything crazy like that. I don't necessarily have a ton of awards or anything crazy in the background in that specific setup that I was in there. But just by taking the time, investing $200 for a proper ring light, a proper webcam, a background, so it's not my messy bedroom behind me, I was able to dramatically increase my appearance. And as a result, going to inherently establish subconscious trust with my prospects. And that's a huge lever for a lot of us to pull. Now, the second thing is that we need to enroll in sales training. Like if we don't know how to close, we need to learn how to close. Right. And we can either take 500, 1,000, 2,000 sales calls on our own, or we could just enroll in some sales training and learn how to do that in the next 2 to 3 weeks. From there, you want to build out all your sales assets, so your decks, your demos, your scripts, and all that kind of stuff. And also, if you want to get this exact same sales training that our agency uses, like the exact same sales training that we put our closers through, you can click below and we'll send that over to you. In addition to that, you need to be blocking out 2 to 4 hours a day to train, especially for your closers, right? This is going to now become the highest leverage point of the business. And if you're not spending 2 to 4 hours a day to train, well, then you're wasting your time. Last thing here is you take the 100 appointments that you booked per month from the appointment setting systems that we talked about earlier. You close just 20% of them. You get your 20 clients times that $5,000 ticket price. That's $100,000 in new cash collected just by following this process. So that is how we have been able to repeatedly take agencies to the 6 and 7 figure mark by following this process. We cut the bullshit. We don't worry about the new techniques. We don't worry about the new strategies. We don't get distracted screwing around on our website. We identify what KPIs need to be hit, what numbers need to be hit. We reverse engineer the process to build the systems and to build the infrastructure to make sure that happens. And then we execute. And we don't get distracted. We stay course for 30, 60, 90 days. And every single time that you do this, your company massively grows, because that is how you mathematically take a company past $100,000 a month. So if you enjoyed this video, I hope you got 10x the value in comparison to the time that you invested watching it. If you have any questions about this, just drop a comment below. I'll personally jump in there and respond. Other than that, I appreciate you for taking the time. Leave a comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video.